Lines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. And brought to you by Matson and the Adahi Tanu program. Cars Plus, reminding you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads up, Guam. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Coming up on Primetime, the government's motion to amend former GPD officer Mark Tory Jr.'s indictment to include negligent homicide is granted. Plus, peace activists from Japan are on Guam learning about militarization issues the island is facing. And also, are you expecting a tax refund? Approximately 8,500 have been mailed out today.
Good evening and Hafa friends. I'm Jason Salas, and a special warm Hafa to all of our online viewers following us on our live stream on Facebook, because we tweeted to our followers earlier today that Judge Michael Berdallo granted the government's motion to amend Mark Tory Jr.'s indictment to include negligent homicide. In 2017, the court found Tory Jr. guilty of negligent homicide as a lesser included offense of manslaughter for the 2015 shooting death of fellow police officer Sergeant Albert Piolo. This past July, the Supreme Court vacated the convictions. We have, of course, reported that Tory's release conditions were recently modified by the court, with the judge granting the defendant's request and vacating the $165,000 bail, allowing the property title to be returned. Tory Jr. has to remain on house arrest, and bail was set at a $10,000 unsecured bond. Trial remains scheduled for October the 24th. There's more from the audio files of Jonya Mayor Jesse Blas's arraignment. On Tuesday, the mayor was arraigned in federal court and ordered to be detained. He faces charges of extortion and bribery for using Jonya mailboxes to import meth for a government informant posing as a drug trafficker. In federal court, FBI case agent Rafael Fernandez testified on behalf of the government, saying that the initial complainant was in a relationship with Mayor Blas. The complainant informed the feds that some packages went missing from the cluster boxes that belonged to another individual.
So the initial complainant said the mayor uses cluster boxes, right, to traffic in drugs.
Okay, the girl that got punched.
Yes.
Okay.
And she told me that on one occasion, another female had 2 packages missing.
Okay. And how do you know there were drugs in those packages?
Because that's what she told us at the time.
Okay, but you have no individual personal knowledge of that?
I don't.
Okay. Did she give the name of the drug trafficker that said he was upset? He or she?
Yes.
And what was that name?
Lovelia Mendoza.
Now, according to KUAM News Archives, in July 2018, Lovelia Mendoza was sentenced in federal court to 8 years in prison after pleading guilty to possession with intent to distribute 50 grams or more of meth. In addition to Mendoza, the only other name mentioned in court to be involved was Deputy Department of Corrections Director and former Superior Court Marshal Joey Terlahi. He resigned from the agency the day after the mayor's arraignment hearing. Blas, in the meantime, pleaded not guilty to the charges and is scheduled to go to trial in December. Of course, you can also listen to the hearing in its entirety. Check us out on the KUAM Podcast Network, on SoundCloud, on Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. Elsewhere on Island tonight, more elected leaders are reacting to the indictment of the Jonya mayor and testimony by a federal agent, which implied corruption in local law enforcement agencies. Acting Lieutenant Governor Tina Rose Munya-Barnes says wrongdoing will not be tolerated. Committee Vice Chair on Public Safety and Vice Speaker Talina Nelson comments, quote, "We must allow the judicial process to take its course and pray." As for Senator Regine Biscoe-Lee, she says the court, DOC, and the police department must investigate the serious accusations by the FBI by an independent group, she says, if need be. In court, a federal agency hinted of another ongoing investigation involving Superior Court marshals who are having sexual intercourse with women who had active warrants. Additionally, the U.S. Attorney's Office alleged that Blas could arrange for inmates to be released from DOC for $15,000. It was additionally alleged that Blas had connections with police. The Jonya mayor is himself a former marshal and police officer. In other island news headlines tonight, calling Micronesia the backbone of American security in the Indo-Pacific and citing its immense strategic importance, the House Foreign Affairs and Natural Resources Committees held a joint hearing today on sustaining U.S.-Pacific insular relationships.
The hearing follows the recent and historic visit to Micronesia by Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. He announced the start of consultations ahead of the renegotiation of the Compacts of Free Association, which expire in 2023. Congressman Brad Sherman of California says the importance of the Pacific Islands should never be understated.
Despite these historic ties, we have heard from FAS leaders that all too often it seems the United States has drifted away. Too often our policy seems to be on autopilot.
Funding, of course, will be a key issue as annual grant money will dry up and the trust funds that were meant to create economic self-sufficiency are falling well short.
We must get ahead of the issue, and that is one of the reasons we're holding this hearing, to get all of our colleagues in Congress to focus on the importance of the freely associated states.
And looming large over the talk, says Ranking Republican Representative Ann Wagner,
China has already begun to pressure Pacific Island countries in an attempt to push the borders of its sphere of influence.
Further underscoring the talks is the creation of the first ever Pacific Islands Congressional Caucus led by Hawaii's Ed Case, who raised a critical concern that's shared by Guam, the cost of hosting FAS migrants.
The impact of the compacts thus far on specific jurisdictions in our country are not acceptable anymore. And I speak primarily of the locations where the compact migrants come to. These are Guam, these are Sinai to some extent, certainly Hawaii.
Trump administration officials say a compact negotiator has not yet been decided, but FSM ambassador to the U.S., Aquilino Susaya, says when the negotiations do get underway,
I wish on behalf of the FSM to ask that the review and approval process, knowing how the legislative process in the Congress plays, that it be done on a timely and expeditious basis.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
All right, Nestor, many thanks for that report. Elsewhere, for the third time, Japanese peace activists have visited Guam to learn about militarization issues facing our island from a Chamorro perspective. Our next report is with Chris Barnett.
Japanese interpreter, writer, and peace activist Mizuki Nakamura leads the One Love Takai group, a collective that opposes the militarization in Okinawa, Japan, and Guam.
We would like to learn about the history of war and also the suffering of the Chamorro people because of our occupation, and also about the current issue of military buildup because of the relocation of the Marines from Okinawa to Guam.
Nakamura says the group has visited Guam several times, and yesterday they held a demonstration at the front gate of NCS. The group also visited Letegzen. Nakamura says when reading tourist brochures about Letegzen or Retidian, not much is said about the historical significance of the area from a Chamorro perspective. One Love Takai visiting Letegzen with members of local environmental advocacy group Protehi Letegzen.
So it was a very special experience for us. We were able to understand, based on those experiences, that place is very important for Chamorro people and it has to be protected and saved.
Nakamura says in the group's visits to Guam, they've been able to see firsthand how militarization has affected the island.
The Japanese media, they hardly cover the stories about what is really going on in Guam because of the military buildup. The land contamination and the water contamination, those issues are also going on in Okinawa right now, in other parts of Japan, and also the noise pollutions and the heavy military exercises. It's going to be only intensified when they come here, and probably possible crimes and accidents committed by the U.S. military personnel.
While the One Love Takai group is based in Japan, they're active in opposing military activities in Okinawa. Takai is a prefecture in Okinawa and a hotbed of resistance against the U.S. military presence. One Love Takai's stance on the military buildup on Guam is the direct opposite of Okinawa Governor Denny Tamaki's. Tamaki visited the island in late August and said he supports the transfer of Marines to Guam because of the excessive burdens his island bears with their presence. Nakamura says the public should have been able to meet with Tamaki because his opinion of the buildup on Guam is not informed.
The governor of Okinawa, he should be exposed to the real voice of the local people in Guam. He came here and he just met the governor and he just met the military. He visited the different, I guess, the construction areas of in the base, but he didn't really talk to the local people, and he has to realize and understand the issues and sufferings of the local people.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
The Guam Memorial Hospital, in other news, retaliated against a whistleblower for raising allegations of misconduct at the island's only public hospital. That's a word from the CSC after it unanimously approved a staff report detailing how the removal of former Associate Director of Medical Services, Dr. Kozue Shimabukuro's administrative responsibilities was retaliation for her publicly speaking about leadership issues at the agency. The doctor had been a vocal critic of GMH leadership at legislative public hearings and in comments to the media. She resigned from GMH, citing a hostile work environment, and is relocated to the state of California. The commission will now set a hearing date to allow the hospital to respond to the report. The Guam Federation of Teachers Field Rep Robert Koss represented Dr. Shimabukuro at the hearing. He tells us the doctor should be returning to Guam for future hearings. In other news of a crime nature, 39-year-old Doreen Marie Bueno was caught using her coworker's credit card. The victim said she allowed Bueno to use her mobile phone to pay some of her bills. Her phone has a case which held her credit card in it. The victim noticed her bank account was unusually low and the bank had informed her about transactions of which she was not aware. She contacted the businesses where transactions were made and discovered that payments were made to Bueno's account. In total, there were 4 unapproved such transactions. Court documents state Bueno admitted to writing down victims' names and credit card information when she borrowed the phone, adding that she does not have enough money to pay the bills herself and that her family depends on her. Bueno was charged with a single count of fraudulent use of a credit card as a felony and a single count of aggravated theft, also as a felony charge. On September the 25th, in other news, GPD officers responded to a report of a pair of individuals fighting at Maximart in Harmon. When police arrived, the male victim was lying on top of Kinson Salam in the parking lot, who was holding him down until police arrived. Court documents state the male and female victims, who live above the market, was taking the flight of stairs when Salam, for unknown reasons, punched the male victim in the face and front-kicked the female victim in the face. Police noted Salam's breath and person reeked of alcohol. Salam was charged with 2 counts of assault as a misdemeanor, a count of public drunkenness, and 1 count of disorderly conduct. Well, Public Health, along with several partner agencies, continues efforts to mitigate the spread of dengue virus on Guam. According to the Joint Information Center, there have been no new confirmed cases, with the agency continuing to gather mosquito traps in areas of surveillance. Prelim screening tests have returned negative for the presence of dengue virus. Now, along with Public Health, or Public Works, I should say, and the Mayor's Council of Guam, cleanup efforts continue with the removal of debris to lessen mosquito breeding sites. Now, the community is reminded to do our part to prevent mosquito bites by applying EPA-registered insect repellent and wearing light-colored long-sleeve shirts and pants. To date, there remain 7 confirmed locally acquired cases of dengue fever, with recently 10 suspect cases resulting in negative findings. Now, on that note, my friends, to head off any potential negative impacts of the dengue cases to our island's tourism industry, GVB has been spreading the word to source markets about how Guam is handling the issue. Once again, here's Nestor Lecanto.
GVB called a special gathering of industry stakeholders to discuss the dengue situation. President Pilar Laguana says they've been monitoring the situation closely.
Our concern is that misinformation locally and in our source markets can become a problem. It can become a challenge for the Guam Visitors Bureau. And this is why one of the reasons why we're having this briefing. The tourism industry is a very fragile industry, and we have seen with past geopolitical issues and acts of nature how things can get out of control.
She says they've been working with the administration to pass on the best information on what Guam's been doing to address the dengue cases.
Our governor understands the importance of ensuring that our stakeholders in Guam's #1 industry have access to information that we all need to help minimize the effects that this may cause our industry.
GVB brought in local experts to brief industry stakeholders about dengue and what they can do to handle any issues that may come up with their customers.
We are treating this matter with the utmost care to ensure safety with our residents and our visitors. We want to be sure that everyone understands that Guam remains safe and a desirable destination for our travelers.
Laguana says so far it's been business as usual, with no reports of any trip cancellations over dengue concerns. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Well, do stay tuned, everybody. We have got to take a quick commercial break, but keep watching and keep streaming because Primetime continues right here on KUAM after this.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're going to be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're going to be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Your exciting new TV experience is here. Smarter, faster, easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps, all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. With approximately 8,500 tax refunds in the mail today, covering filers from April 1st through the 15th, the Leon Guerrero administration has paid all Status A refunds for a total of $144 million fiscal year to date. The press release says this total is $29 million more than the same time last fiscal period and more than 2 weeks ahead of the court-ordered deadline of October 15th of this year. Also worthy of note is that the amount of tax refund dollars paid from Section 30 funds is $10 million less than last year, allowing for Section 30 money to be dedicated to other funding priorities. The governor says their goal is to do even better next year. Well, a rather alarming story now is brown widow spiders were caught hitching a ride on a container to Guam from California. The discovery was made by customs officers Thursday who were conducting an inspection down at the port, with Customs Biosecurity Section activated and fumigating the container. A re-inspection will be conducted next Monday to determine if the treatment was successful, and if so, the container will in fact be released. Well, more contraband and other news has been uncovered at the Guam Department of Education. According to GDOE spokesperson Isa Baza, the 2.5-inch letter opener that is presented as a pen was confiscated at a public school. The inquiry determined that the item belonged to a family member of a student, with the student bringing that contraband to school to show it off. Baza says her agency contacted the parents and the administration addressed the student's action. Elsewhere tonight, the site of the Menil Memorial could be designated as a National Historic Landmark with an informational meeting with landowners in the area scheduled for Saturday, October 5th at the Guam Preservation Trust office downtown. Menil was the site of a concentration camp during the Japanese occupation during the Second World War, and every year a memorial ceremony is held there, commemorating and paying tribute to the survivors and those who died during the war. Now, you might recall that months leading up to this year's annual ceremony, the family threatened to block access to the site because GovGuam once never provided compensation for the land. The Guam State Historic Preservation Office is recommending Menil be designated as a National Historic Landmark on Guam. Let's take a look at regional headlines now. Here's our friends at KSPN2 News.
Hafa-Day Guam, here are the headlines for CNMI.
Almost all non-resident worker contracts expire on the very same day, September 30th, and new regulations and a lengthier application process put renewals for thousands in jeopardy. The Torres administration and Congressman Sablan both working to stop the economic disaster from happening. Employers now have until November 1st to file a CW permit extension. Kalili's office today said as of Monday there were 2,536 applications covering over 7,000 workers that were still pending. Sablan said today in a phone interview that he had asked for an extension of 90 days, but that the 30 days would definitely help. Here's Governor Torres on the topic this afternoon.
Were you up? Did you? I was up actually. I was up and we spoke to Jason Osborne, our Washington office. And for the last couple of months we've been working really hard with the White House and USCIS, Homeland Security, of course our private partners here. And we got the news this morning that USCIS has approved the extension of 30 days.
USCIS says this extension is on a one-time basis to excuse the late filings, provided the petition is otherwise properly filed and includes an approved TLC with a start date on or after October 1st, and provided that USCIS receives the application no later than 30 days after the date of TLC approval or by November 1st, whichever is earlier.
Do you think the 30 days is enough time? I think that is definitely a success for us, knowing where we're at. I think 30 days should be enough for for the companies that are pushing hard and not taking the relaxed approach about the deadline.
For more news, visit saipantv.com. For KSPN2 News, I'm Ashley McDowell.
Back here in the 671 Employ Older Workers Week concluded today with a luncheon at the Nico Hotel for participants in the Senior Community Service Employment Program. Dorothy Gutierrez of the Department of Labor is administrator of the initiative, and she says the participants were all placed in various government agencies where they received training to prepare them to work in the island's private sector in various capacities of island industry.
There's 5 criteria for them to qualify for the program. Age, income, must have a barrier to employment, must be unemployed, and must be a resident of Guam.
Interested seniors can enroll at the American Job Center, and that's located downtown in Anigua. Elsewhere on island tonight, a commemoration ceremony was held today at CL Taitino Elementary School over in Sinania. Today actually marked the 49th anniversary of the dedication of the school in honor of civic leader and educator Carlos Lezama Taitino. He served as a member and chairman of the Guam Territorial Board of Education and is credited with directing the crucial changeover of the board to an autonomous Department of Education for all public schools. Taitino's family was on hand for the ceremony. Carmel Diaz is his daughter.
It is a great honor for our families, and we're so proud of this school, the students, just the community that makes up this school, CL Taitino Elementary. And we're so happy that they thought of commemorating the day that the school was dedicated in his honor.
Taitino was inducted into the Guam Educators Hall of Fame in 1994. He died in 1970, and the Sinania School was dedicated in his honor with his namesake on September 27th of that year. Now, Diaz, a public school teacher herself, says that she is proud to carry on the proud tradition of her parents' legacy as educators.
Him being an educator, my mother being a teacher also, that influenced me. I'm the only educator in my family, but just the two of them, their influence.
Now, to ensure Taitino's lessons are not lost, students at the school, which was recently accredited, by the way, studied Taitino's life, and the ceremony, which will be a yearly fixture from here on out, helped build pride and morale. Elsewhere on island today, tree planting at the Menil Watershed with the Department of Agriculture's Forestry Division is happening tomorrow in Malesu. The Forestry and Soil Resources Division had planned a planting weeks ago, but that event was canceled after concerns were raised by the State Historic Preservation Office. Southern Guam, as you may know, is vulnerable to wildfires and erosion, and planting slow erosion, which in turn helps protect our precious reef. If you plan on joining in, organizers say you should wear closed-toe shoes. They're absolutely mandatory, so get those. The planting is happening at 8:30 in the morning off of Kineni Road down in the southern village of Maleso. It's being done in partnership with the Bureau of Stats and Plans, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and the Nature Conservancy. We hope to see you there. Also tonight, Humanities Guahan is pleased to announce its 4th Eat Your Heritage Food Democracy Tour. Fiestan Salu Salu, celebrating the flavors of Guam and the Philippines, features guest chefs Joe Ong, a former Guam resident, and Mylene Valdez. From September of this month until October 5th, you can participate in a couple of community talks, one on the 30th with local speakers, and another on the 3rd, where Ong will focus on Filipino gastronomy. There's also a pastry workshop and an interpretive dinner event lined up. The Eat Your Heritage series explores the important connections between food, health, culture, and the environment to grow democracy in our island community. If you'd like a complete list of events, we've listed them on our website, so just check out KUAM.com or the KUAM News mobile app to find all of them. Well, please stay tuned. Dave Delgado is up next. Our Dow Rent-to-Own Athlete of the Week is after this.
A beautiful, healthy smile is an expression of confidence. The more confident you are about your smile, the more likely you are to fully express your feelings without having to worry about the way your teeth look.
Before cosmetic dentistry, I didn't smile as much. I didn't have the confidence, and it shows. And since I've had cosmetic dentistry done, I feel 10 times more confident. I make my initial introduction with a nice big smile and a handshake, and I just feel like it really is a relationship builder, a nice warm smile, and it makes the clients and customers feel more comfortable with you, feeling confident, and they feel that you're not just there for business, that you're also there kind of as a friend as well. So I mean, it's amazing how powerful a smile can be. A good smile.
Since your smile makes a significant impression on those around you, it is important that it makes the impression you want it to make.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Half a day, hungry drivers. Are you spending more time on the road? Shell has teamed up with Wendy's so you can buy fuel and eat free. Just fuel up 7 gallons at any Shell station and get a coupon for a Wendy's cheeseburger or chicken nuggets. Or use 2 coupons to redeem a Wendy's cheeseburger meal with fries and a drink. Fuel up at Shell today, because this deal won't last long. Quality service, fuel and food from Shell and Wendy's.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
We're here at Dow Rent-to-Own East again for our Athlete of the Week. Today we have Trench Challenge elite competitor Michael Kittigood. Joanne?
Congratulations, Mike. Who would you like to donate your check to?
Hi, Joanne. Yes, I'd like to donate this check to Special Olympics of Guam.
Now, this year's Trench Challenge event is scheduled for Sunday at the Guam International Raceway Park in Jigo. Tell us how you've been preparing for this year's event.
Okay, so this year I've been focusing on endurance because a lot of the obstacles, they're meant for everybody to overcome. They're not too hard, but they're a good enough challenge. So for me personally, I've been focusing on the run because that's where you can beat everybody's time.
And what are some of the obstacles that you're looking forward to most that might have maybe give you a little run for your money in last year's event?
I think it's the Atlas carry. That one was pretty fun. I struggled a little bit because it was wet, but I think this time I'll get good technique to hold that giant ball up, so that's what I'm looking forward to.
And I'm sure you're really targeting that qualifying time to also be able to represent Guam in off-island competition.
Oh yes, of course. I definitely want to travel again. I've been there every year since they've allowed the competition to qualify. So this time I want to go again and join my teammates.
What is that like, start of the race with all the elite competitors taking off at one time and then seeing guys that might have a little bit difficulty on certain events and you're either getting passed up or you're passing somebody up?
I actually feel honored to run with those guys because you see that you're not the strongest or you're not the fastest, and everyone has their different strengths and weaknesses. So it's nice equalizer on that start line.
And you've represented Guam in London and Canada, and how has that been for you, the experience and seeing world-class competitors out there doing the same thing that you enjoy doing so much?
Of course it's inspiring because I see like older folks like in their 50s and even 60s doing the same things I'm doing. So that gives me a lot of hope that when I'm older, I can keep doing this competition.
All right, congratulations. Stay tuned to our next Dollar Zone Athlete of the Week.
KUAM Sports Athlete of the Week is brought to you by...
Winning this year's Bud Light Women's Futsal League Championship title was the Heavy Hitters Nutrition Mission Heat, 5-4 over the Quality Distributor Squad. Tamika Hechinova, Harmony Guitar, and Alexandra Shimasaki scored 1 goal each for the winning team. The Heat's other 2 goals came on Quality own goals. Quality's Paige Sturber and China Ramirez were honored with the 2019 season's Golden Boot and Golden Glove Awards, respectively. Budweiser Men's Futsal League, the Bank of Guam Strikers capped off its undefeated season with an 11-7 championship victory over Guam Shipyard. Aiden Dixon and Ian Mariano each scored hat tricks for the winning team, and teammate Isaiah Laguteng scored twice. Jason Cunliffe and Joseph Connolly also scored for the Strikers. Strikers player Marcus Lopez was recognized as the 2019 season's Golden Boot winner, and Quality Distributors Brett Maluameng earned the league's 2019 Golden Glove Award.
It is the spirit within us, our soul, our essence that drives us to seek a better way, to create beauty and enrich the senses, to inspire fulfilling lives, to be at one with our earth and protect those who we love. Only by taking on challenges do we change the world for the better.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
Turn up summer with Minute Maid slushies, only at McDonald's. Enjoy 3 refreshingly chill flavors, new sweet peach, blue raspberry, and fruit punch, while summer lasts.
All right, everybody, we cannot conclude this newscast without saying happy birthday to some very special Guamanians, tonight's Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club recipients.
All right, everybody, happy birthday going out to Doris Mofnes and Gonzalo Vivas. Happy birthday to the lovely couple, say all of your friends. Also, happy birthday to Kyan Kenga, who celebrates a birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Birthday number 17 messages going out to Iris Pangilinan from Mom and Family. Legion Blaze Rios celebrates a birthday today, so from Mommy, Daddy, and the Rios and Babalta families, they send their very best. Also, happy birthday number 1 to Sonia Isabel Aloka Akfaji, our beautiful baby girl. We wish you the very best, say Mommy, Daddy, Big Brothers, and Big Sissies. And a couple of belated birthday wishes going out tonight. First to Joel De Jesus, happy birthday from your Santos family. And Evelyn Santos, who celebrates a birthday today. Hope you have a wonderful day with lots of love from your kids and your grandson, Wyatt.
And it is super easy to be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. You know what you got to do. Just go to KUAM.com, hit the link that says birthdays, and then send us your name and picture, and we will get you in the club, and you could possibly win a birthday cake, because that is what we're doing right now. And this week's winner, chosen completely at random, of a delicious Cold Stone Creamery cake is Jessie Jo Gumabon Bias J-Jo. She was born on the 24th, and she and her family are going to get a wonderful cake. We congratulate the Bias family, and hopefully your grandpa is going to come by the house and sing you a wonderful happy birthday song. All right. We'll be in touch with you to let you know how you can redeem your wonderful extended birthday gift. And please stay tuned because more is coming up after this. Hafa Day and happy Friday, everybody. I'm Jason Salas and welcome to KU News Extra. We have an extra special presentation for you right now because last weekend, the Pacific Islanders Festival was held in San Diego, and it just so happens, the former KU